A while back, I asked the Gallup polling company if they would do a poll for me with a sampling of the national population, all the residents of the United States. And I said I had a simple yes or no question, and I wanted to hire them to do a poll for it. And they were all eager. I called them on the telephone and they were happy, and they were talking about how they could do it and so forth. And then we got into the technical questions about, the nature of the sample and so forth. And that led to some email exchanges that we had a back and forth. And all of these email exchanges that I'm going to tell you about are online. I'll provide the URL so you can read it at the bottom of this video. And everything was hunky-dory until I told them what the question was. The simple question was whether people thought what this button says is a good idea or a bad idea. It says, let's remove the rich from power to have real, not fake democracy with no rich and no poor. Simple question. As soon as I told them what the question was, they said, oh no, this is not our business model, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't fit, etc., etc. It's clear that the Gallup poll company does not want the American public to know the truth about the fact that it is a vast majority of the population that thinks it's a good idea or a great idea to remove the rich from power to have real, not fake democracy with no rich and no poor. Now, I've learned from personal experience that the vast majority of people hold this view because I've talked to literally thousands of people on the streets of 5 neighborhoods in Boston and asked them this question, and it's always 90%, plus or minus a percent or two here or there, that say, yes, it's a good idea or a great idea. That was even the case when I went to a pro-Trump rally in Boston, in front of the State House, called by the local state version of the NRA to protest Attorney General restricting what type of guns people could buy. There were hundreds of people at this rally. They were almost all wearing the Trump Make America Great Again hat. They were literally all white. Many of them had NRA insignia t-shirts, and many of them were holding American flags. And I went to this rally, and I asked 50 random people, showing them the button and saying, do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea? 43 of the 50 people, 86%, told me it was a good idea or a great idea, and all 43 took the button I offered them happily, and many of them pinned the button on their shirt right on the spot. One woman was there at the rally with cold water bottles because it was a very hot day, and she insisted I take one in appreciation for having produced the button. This is the fact. In my local neighborhood of Allston-Brighton in Boston, I easily collected 1,021 signatures on a statement saying that, quote, our larger goal is removing the rich from power to have real, not fake democracy with no rich and no poor. It was easy. People read the statement I asked them to sign, and their first question was, where do I sign? It was a no-brainer, people told me. But the Gallup poll company and the corporations in general do everything they can to keep this fact about ourselves a secret. The mass media censors any expression, any hint of wanting to remove the rich from power to have real, not fake democracy with no rich and no poor. And it has an effect on how people think about the general public and what they think is possible. And this leads directly into my next talk on my subsequent video about the political campaigns being waged by the likes of Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and the other oh-so-liberal politicians. So stay tuned. Thank you.